Raji joins us here in our studio for an update. Raji, thank you for being here. I know this has been
Thank you for having me.
It's such a... I just really appreciate you sharing your story, because I'm sure you've seen the stories around the country of women and men getting injections in their buttocks and their breasts and their face, and really not knowing what that ingredient is and having reactions similar to yours. So I really appreciate you sharing.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Well, and it's empowering, too, because it's a way of me making lemonade out of lemons, actually.
Yeah.
How are you doing emotionally right now?
Well, a lot better. I have a psychiatrist and psychologist that I do see. Awesome. Because I feel that not only physically I needed to get help, but also psychologically. So it affected me. I was depressed. I had PTSD, agoraphobia, because I was actually fearful of leaving my apartment. I mean, you know, I could have died from this.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's only through the grace of God that I'm sitting here able to tell my story. But I know that I could have died. In retrospect, you know, you can always say would have, could have, should have. But, you know, I'm still here, and at least I'm trying to educate people.
You are. Someone is watching right now who was thinking about getting the same thing done and has decided not to because you're here.
Sure, we've said it over again. Injecting things into your body is a big deal.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not a small innocuous procedure.
Just because you can use an injection and syringe does not mean you're qualified to do so.
And I was just going to mention, you're obviously remarkably intelligent, and that's a sign this can happen to
anybody.
Anyone. And Raji has been receiving treatments recently from facial plastic and cosmetic surgeon Dr. John Martin. He's joining us via Polycom to give us an update. Now, she's had treatments, right?
We've tried to both excise some of the nodules, and then she's had regular injections into the nodules.
And Dr. Martin, things like this, cement, are injected into the tissue of your body, whether it be the face or the body itself. It's impossible to remove it all, not without removing large chunks of good, healthy tissue.
Now, from the outside looking in, it almost seems like you'd be able to remove the lumps and then do fat grafting to replace it. Is that not something that's possible?
Well, it is possible to add fat, but it's that you can't remove all of this material that is causing this inflammatory response. And I guess that's the key to your ongoing treatment, is trying to keep those sites of inflammation at bay as best as possible.
We've started doing something called Ultherapy treatment, which is a deep ultrasound, and the heat from this ultrasound is shrinking these nodules down. I think it's just breaking up the inflammatory tissue so that she's actually lost some of the nodules, and the ones that remain have decreased significantly in size.
Well, Dr. Martin, thank you for the work that you're doing.
Keep up the good work.
We appreciate you joining us. And Raji, thank you for being so great.
Thank you, Nadia.
My pleasure.